Radio, taking it to the edge and back.
Welcome back to the Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast. We are live right now on Facebook, but you can also check us out on all of our platforms on Idiot Radio. IdiotRadio.net's the best place to go. It'll direct you to all your favorite podcasting platforms, direct links right to them. Our Idiot Radio app, depending on what kind of phone you have, it's 100% free. You can get it and listen to the show. All our shows stream 24 hours a day. It's basically an internet radio station. We have live programming and best of programming, so you can catch some older episodes of this or other episodes of some of our other great programs like Yinzer Club and the Double D Show, the old school podcasts and stuff. So yeah, so we have a little bit of business to attend to. Bubba's here, the Triple B.
Hello, everybody.
The big man he's really hot. His mic's hot. I got to turn him down a little bit.
That's what they always tell me. Every time I walk around, I'm hot.
The big man is here. And then super producer Gary DeBar is here. We got a great show planned for you today, but we got a little bit of business we got to take care of, guys. Last show we were soliciting for votes. We were whoring out votes. We were asking everybody.
I was selling myself very hard on the corner.
To vote for us, to nominate us for Best Podcast. Well, your votes, you came through.
You did.
And,
kudos to you.
We are in the top 10 nominees for Best Podcast in all of Pittsburgh, all of the 412. So we appreciate that, but the work isn't done yet. We
need your help, people,
we can't
to be
throw
champions.
a party yet. So you just got to go to PittsburghCityPaper.com. Go under the section that says Best of PGH, and then it says Vote 2020. And then there's a lot of steps. So you go citypaperpgh.com, go to Best of PGH 2020 Vote, and then you got to go to People and Places, and then scroll down to Best Local Podcast. And you'll see us right there, Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast. The fabulous Three Birds.
I got the shirt on right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we all got our
widescreen.
We got our merch on.
There it is.
You can get
everybody's represented.
all of our sick merch at
jerseys.
idiotradio.net. Click store. So we hoard out the votes. We hoard out the store.
When is the vote end? When does the vote end?
September 4th, I believe, at noon.
September 4th, ladies and gentlemen.
We need you.
We want to be – look, this whole year has been so crazy. Let's end it on a note of making us champions of the best podcast in Pittsburgh.
I'll tell you what, if we win, Mav, we're going to do a independent wrestling tour.
Woo!
Independent wrestling tailgate tour.
In the parking lot.
We'll have prizes and
we're not
everything.
invited in.
Yeah.
We won't be invited in, no. No, they probably, because when I do the Fight Underground now, I'm like real deal, and I express my voice.
Did you say real deal?
Words on puns. Oh, it's awesome.
Little inside joke there. Now, did you guys notice something a little different about me since the last time we were here?
Yeah, your left hand's a little heavier.
I know my buddies in the wedding said it looks like a car tire. I have a size 15 ring. So.
You know what, Todd? First off, we from Bubba and I, we want to congratulate you. Though we are going to get a chance to celebrate, but February?
In February,
hopefully,
yeah.
If everybody wear their damn masks so we can celebrate.
Would have been good.
We already, you celebrated with your family and your really close friends. It looked like an awesome event. It sucks that we missed it.
He made Channel 4 News.
I know.
His wedding made Channel 4 News.
So it was crazy.
That's awesome.
So for those that don't know, a little backstory on the wedding. 3 weeks before the wedding, everything was booked 2 years ago. I paid for everything up front, so I'm stuck with all this situation. 3 weeks before the wedding, the venue calls and says, hey, there's new restrictions. We can't have more than 20 people here, no DJ.
Oh, that's crazy.
And all this other stuff.
I-
And I'm like, well, that's not going to work. I paid all this money for a DJ, a photo booth, and so...
Man, look how PIMP you look. Them Jordans on.
So
Damn.
for those on Facebook, you can see
in
I
a
have like
ballpark.
little
You're married in a
slide.
ballpark.
So yeah, so that's where the story went. They canceled the event, so I'm scrambling 3 weeks out for the ceremony. We were getting married hell or high water on August 15th. No matter what, we've been putting it together for 2 years, and I'm actually kind of glad it happened the way it did because every venue we were reaching out to, every idea that we had, everything kept falling through. I reached out to the Washington Wild Things. We got married right at home plate at their stadium.
See, that's awesome.
And Jim Kren, my radio partner from Pittsburgh legend from WDVE,
See, that's awesome.
he conducted
He
the
got married by
ceremony.
Stanley P. Stanley P. married you.
So,
That's awesome.
And he pointed out that my ring is black and gold, so he's a typical Yinzer ring.
Ooh.
So
Well, it was funny because we almost had our wedding at PNC Park, right? And they won't let you onto the field. They make you get married on the Pirates dugout,
Yeah.
like on top of it. But my wife didn't like the fact that you couldn't decorate. And so she didn't want Roberto Clemente or Bill Mazeroski's pictures in the background of our wedding pictures, which would be a dream come true for
Wayne's
me.
mean. That was amazing.
Man.
But-
okay. I'll shut up over here.
We had the mascot and everything in some of the
wow.
pictures with us. My kid Vinny Chooch was fighting the mascot.
with his title.
He was trying to beat up the mascot. But yeah, everything worked out great. We saw Bert Kreischer.
wow.
He was in his bus next to our limo on the way home.
Oh, nice.
And then I have to send a shout
Is he
out.
shirtless?
I couldn't see him. His bus
that's
was
what he
next
does.
to ours. But yeah, so a shout out to Loyalty Entertainment. My photographer Sam, she was amazing. As you can see, those of you on Facebook can see the pictures. Loyalty Entertainment is the company she works for. They were great to work with. Obviously, the Wild Things. Rowdy Barbecue. They were originally supposed to do the rehearsal dinner food.
Nice.
They
Rowdy
did
Barbecue.
the.
Did they have bagpipes?
They
and stuff?
moved it to the wedding day, and then they actually delivered it.
Oh, okay.
So it was nice. And, so shout out to all those people. And then in February, we'll have the big party with the DJ and the booze and
oh yeah.
all that.
I'm
So,
dancing. I'm dancing.
And singing Elvis?
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit known to that. Yeah, but I don't want to get cans thrown at me.
Oh, and Shamrock Limousine, who had us riding in style.
woo! That's awesome. That's
See-
great.
Yes, I mean, it was a great day all around, and I can't complain. But that's enough about.
I've been doing landscaping. Yay, landscaping, and that's it. You get married, I do landscaping and work, and
I go to work, and then after that, I do more work around the house. So.
well, actually, I do a couple podcasts too. So
yeah, you're
Well, yeah,
pretty
well-
where you were just plug where you just were.
well, I was
the football one.
The football one was Steeler Realm podcast. These guys are great guys. They love the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they bring me on about once a year, but they might have me as a monthly guest, and they actually love
Nice.
they love our show, and they're actually helping us out for
Thank
the
That's
votes.
awesome.
Thank
So
you.
Steelers Realm
Steeler
podcast.
Realm.
Thank you guys.
We love the
Awesome.
Steelers and that.
And then I do the Fight Underground every Thursday where I talk independent wrestling and piss people off. Or have people piss me off. Like last night was a lot of technical difficulty. But tonight there won't be no technical difficulty.
Don't jinx it, Bob.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm knocking on the table.
Don't
But-
jinx it.
Well, it's because, this is the best podcast in Pittsburgh and beyond because I'm talking to the
The
mic.
voters have to prove it today.
Yes, yes.
So
Well, I'll go to your house, knock on your door, grab you by your hands, get you to the keyboard, log in, and then vote.
You're on
And
your
I'll leave.
phone anyway, people. Just help us out, please.
I'll grab a
Yep.
sandwich on the
we'll
way
put
out.
up the link to that too.
Awesome.
I have a funny feeling that we are going to win because I did some investigative reporting on checking out these other podcasts. And ladies and
Worthy-
gentlemen, they are not worthy of this podcast.
Well, I can't.
Ooh.
except for your podcast that you have on
Yeah.
the family, the brothers.
Our brother
Greenfield.
pod. Shout out to our brother podcast, Greenfield's finest. Probably one of the funniest podcasts. And I'm not even saying that because I'm involved, because I'm their producer. I'm just saying that because they
do
are
have a good product,
hilarious.
Plus, they bust ass every time getting great stuff on their podcast.
And they have a lot of support from the community and stuff. So, yeah, check them out, greenfieldsfinestpodcast.com. Mike and Moneyline, all the guys, Shuley and Rosado. They're four of the funniest guys. They're lifelong friends. And typical Pittsburghers, Greenfield guys.
They got the accent.
Just funny comedian guys.
They do.
But we're introducing a new segment today, Mav. Did you know this?
Yes, actually, I did.
The Triple B.
I did.
Triple B's Triple Threat. And
Triple Threat.
Bubba, our
Who is Triple B?
Triple B, handpicks the guys he thinks that are triple threats in the indie circuit, that are up and comers, that have the triple threat, the look. They're great on the mic and they can wrestle. And he's gonna bring these guys in here.
If I was an owner of a company, these would be the people that I would sign to carry my company forward to the masses in Western Pennsylvania. If I had the Powerball winnings to run an organization like I truly would want to, and if I did look the hell out, people, because I would be ruthless.
So
I would.
For our first guest on Triple B's Triple Threat,
that's a tongue tie.
it is. The amazing Spencer Slade. He has a great story. He'll be coming in about 9-ish, hopefully.
One of the best matches I've seen in a long time, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
I'm assuming we're going to get to that, too.
Yeah,
then we're going to be talking about, Summerslam predictions a little bit later.
SummerSlam.
But until then, let's. There's some headlines that going around this week, and we talk about those.
This is probably the best part of the show. We do the headline segment like we're TMZ, and then we shoot from the hip when we see these headlines, and we go off candid, and we actually express our true feelings about this. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have something, please give us a call, because, hey, we're
join
here.
the party, 412-407-SHOW.
Right.
I talk to a lot of people, and they, I always say, hey, do you want to join the show? Just talk, because a lot of people stop. All the podcasts I've ever done, I've never been stopped on the street for stuff, but this one is the one that people always want to talk about. I'm sitting with Pittsburgh legends, and nobody wants to talk about that.
I don't know about a legend.
When I'm
No, not you. We're talking about Merrill Hodge.
Merrill Hodge, Bubba, the other Bubba, the radio Bubba, B94 Bubba, and Kren. I do all these things with those. Done them with those guys
For real.
and no one's ever talked to me, but people want to talk wrestling. And then there's times I don't want to hear it.
Everybody, If you like wrestling, you want to talk about it. If you don't like wrestling, you don't talk about it.
So right now I'm not liking it too much.
I'm not liking it either.
But,
and I know you
about
don't like
that?
it.
Guys, call in 412-407-SHOW. Join the party. This week, did you guys see Mickie James made her TV comeback, and it was kind of strange. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Yep.
She had no entrance.
It was like generic.
She had no entrance. She was just in the ring waiting for Natalia. And it was a short match, and it was a count-out.
Terrible.
Well, when you have all those flying ninjas running around, you don't have time for entrances. So,
do you think
And retribution.
somebody Mickie James' caliber in the women's division deserves more than that?
yes.
Do you think she's Hall of Fame worthy?
Yes.
Yeah. She's wrestled everybody that's in the Hall of Fame. And now she can experience stuff with the younger girls, because right now, ladies wrestling in the WWE, like I said before, as we say, is not hot now. It's not. It has cooled down tremendously, and that's coming from
fell off
the whole company.
It's
Yeah.
And the Corona didn't help.
I just thought that was kind of odd, and I saw the headline for it, and I was like, yeah, maybe we should talk about it.
To their defense, I should say, she probably did have an entrance, but it got cut for TV because it's all taped. So, like I said, when you have all the flying ninjas and stuff like that,
All
you
the
gotta
stupidity.
give them time, and you don't have time for Mickie James.
The
to have
only
an entrance.
time the ninjas are going to be cool. Now, get this. Well, you're going to laugh.
They should have a Chris Farley-looking guy.
A big, heavy-set ninja guy like me
Yeah.
who can't move and then try to roll, and he looks stupid going down the runway.
You trying to get yourself a gig? Is
I'll
that
do
what
whatever it takes sometimes.
You coming out of retirement?
No. But maybe as a ninja. You know what I mean? Because I could,
You better start working on that DDP yoga if you're going to get your legs up past your shin.
know.
He's a friend of mine. I'll give you the password.
I know he's a friend of
He
yours.
gave it to me for free.
He's something else.
I don't know if he was trying to tell me something.
He might have been, but it's not even worth. Raw is not even worth.
I don't know.
No.
Hopefully that it was just like Mav said that
They're setting something up, for
cutting
something else.
time. Or that was another thing that crossed my mind. Maybe they're going to set something up where she's going to go through a losing streak and then go into a new gimmick of some sort, or because they kind of did that with Becky.
You guys know who her husband is, right? You guys know who her husband is.
No, who's her husband?
Her husband is NWA World Champion Nick Aldis. Yep. Oh, I remember that. Too many shots to the head when I couldn't pronounce it the last time.
Well, yeah, when we were talking about that show, you didn't even.
I couldn't remember.
I didn't know that was her husband.
Oh
That's-
yeah. So he's kind of lucky
Do you? And then the other part of me thinks, do you think they did that to her on purpose
because of something
for
maybe.
a punishment or something?
I think he might have said something. Did he say something on Twitter about? Who knows anymore?
Yeah.
You can't. You got to watch what you do on social media. Even a big company.
They need her.
Yeah, they don't.
They
don't
could
have
use
anybody.
her.
Yeah, because
she could make somebody look really good. I mean,
Yep.
look what she did with.
Not that Natty needed that rub, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of other
Natty.
women in that locker room that sure.
Natty's great in the ring, but
she had a
her
good-
personality is just she's not charismatic enough.
She had a good book with Trish at one point, right?
Oh, yeah.
She
Yeah.
made Trish look good. They had some good. They had a
storyline
good
where she
feud.
was-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Natty's one of those people that are always the bridesmaid, never the bride type of thing. Like
Yeah.
her run with the title was very short.
I used to have a big crush on Natty. I don't know.
I like
why.
Natty though. She was like the OG worker, like before any
can
of them
work.
could actually work.
She can work, but her promos are not. Okay, here I am sitting. I got to work for a living, but her promos are not that. And she's a great worker, but she just doesn't. She never did it for me. Never. So
I don't know. I used to have a big crush on her. I don't know.
Well, you're allowed to have crushes. Not now because you're married.
I mean, yeah. But I say used to, past tense.
Okay. Mine was Trish.
Now,
so.
Mickey James, legend, future Hall of Famer, and then we're going to segue right into this other
Oh boy.
He's already a Hall of Famer.
This guy is the luckiest mammer jammer because
his legacy's ruined.
it's terrible.
It just came out this week, the details in Goldberg's contract. And he is under contract until 2022, and he's required to do 2 matches a year. After that Undertaker match,
That was brutal.
Well, fantasy book that. Who do you put him in the ring with?
The Mookie brothers.
the Ninjas.
The Ninjas.
The ninjas. Yeah.
Great minds.
He
Double
can
D.
spear
Great
him.
minds.
Well, that's good, except for the heavy set ninja because he probably can't. He can't give the jackhammer.
He couldn't even jackhammer Ziggler.
How about you cut his entrance?
Yeah.
How about that? How about you cut half his match?
Ooh, you're salty.
No, it's ridiculous.
The legacy is ruined.
And you wonder why the product is the way it is,
I
and,
like
and they're
Goldberg.
losing money out the ass. It's because they're spending money on contracts for Goldberg till 2022.
I mean,
not worth it.
the original appearance was nice. It got its pop. It served its purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
When
But
he
I'll
worked
give you that.
Brock, when he worked Brock, that was
Yeah,
good.
and he
Yes.
won the title.
That was it. He should have just rode his car
That's
into the
it.
sunset.
And then he almost killed the Undertaker. He almost broke his neck.
Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. You know,
Yeah.
I was rooting for him for to beat Brock just because
It was something different at the
yeah,
time.
and you guys know my
You don't
thoughts
you're-
on Brock.
Yeah.
So
Well,
anybody's better than Brock.
you're the Brock.
Yeah.
The
So
president of the
there
fan
is
club.
a rumor floating around that Brock and Roman may appear at SummerSlam,
I can't see either one coming.
or at least one of them the day after.
I'd still think they're not coming due to the. I don't know, due to the COVID.
Does it matter if they go?
No.
I don't
No.
think it does.
It's not going to add to anything.
They're not going to make any ratings. They're not going to do anything because it's not worthwhile. He can still make money with not having any fans in the paying fans. He's still making money. He made $17 million in a quarter. Nothing's going on in the United States, and Vince McMahon still made $17 million.
I wonder how how though. I mean,
I don't know.
And then
I wish I did.
And then The Rock bought the XFL for $15 million.
Yep. Yeah.
The Rock and his
So
ex-wife.
it's like the
She's
is that
first female
really? Wow.
owner?
Okay.
She's the first female owner of a professional league. Yeah.
So it's going to be real life ballers.
Ballers is a good show.
Yeah, man. Real life ballers.
I don't know. I couldn't even have a cup of coffee with my ex-wife, let alone buy a sports team with her. Yeah.
I see my ex-girlfriends, man, in
But
Total
she's-
Darkness, so that's excellent.
She's his like business manager. Or
Yeah,
something
she
like
still is.
But
Yeah.
it's been business.
But when
it
you
was
have
been
kids,
business.
you
time.
kind of
Yeah.
need to be
That
civil.
kid's an
and-
adult. Well, I'm not.
She's
civil.
training.
Yeah,
I'm
she's-
not civil.
She's
I'm just saying. I got a W in court this week. So,
Ooh.
so I finally
Well, hey.
beat.
Well, we
I
went
finally
from
beat the devil.
Goldberg to Judge Judy.
I finally beat the devil. No, I'm just. Anyway, anywho.
Well, that's a good week for you. You get married and then
Yeah.
you beat the devil in one
Double.
week.
I beat the devil.
When
yeah.
you beat Satan, it's always holy. It's always a good time.
But anyway, let's change the subject. AEW. This is you guys.
I love
forte.
it. I love it.
I'm totally in the dark. So
I love
you
it.
got Mav. You guys want to take it over?
It's all you, Mav, right now.
I mean, for me, AEW is just they can't do anything wrong. I mean, who would have thought? And we have this as a show note here, but let's just hop to it. Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho in the main event was the best thing I've seen on TV in forever.
His gimmick of being a millennial slacker is
Money.
I can't say nothing bad about it because he can do stuff with his hands in his pockets better than workers actually with their hands out of their pockets. So, I'm
not laughing at you, brother. I'm laughing with you.
The orange juice coming down on Jericho. Jericho's money no matter what he does.
On the he's doing commentary.
He's doing everything.
Hilarious. It's just AEW. And let me tell you, I mean, WWE has some players, right? Their booking is terrible. I think you've heard me preach this for months and months now. For whatever reason, I cannot sit there and focus on WWE anymore. Their product just drives me insane. And like I said, they have a lot of talent there. They just don't know what to do with them. You can't blame this on COVID either because AEW is making it work.
Yeah,
So.
they get to a point too with guys where they're so over. Like we've talked about it multiple times on the show. Rusev, Elias.
Yeah.
Rusev is not even in wrestling anymore, and he's just
crowd is
talking.
begging,
playing video games.
The crowd's begging for those guys to be over, and then they flip the switch and turn it into something stupid.
Because Vince doesn't care what the fans are chanting.
It's crazy.
If he's still making money,
and that's
off
why.
this,
And
then-
that's why the product is shit. Right
Well, you
now.
see, they brought All Elite brought in Bischoff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think that was a one-off.
But that was a one-off. But it got leaked.
It was like
but
a
it still worked out.
Well, okay,
Jericho
so-
said it still worked out.
So here's the thing: whenever they started doing that debate, I'm like, oh man, I don't know about this. This AEW finally got something wrong, right? And then it was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, you had to
good.
follow it out.
I mean, Jericho, you wouldn't think he'd be, I mean, he's past his prime. Let's face it. He's not in the best shape of his career, but I tell you what, he's doing some of the best work. I mean,
Yeah.
he's done a lot of great things, but he
looks like WCW Jericho right now.
Well, their tag team division is better than WWE's.
Oh, it's phenomenal. FTR, baby.
What do you guys?
Them turning on the Rock and Roll Express last week. I mean, that was classic. And then Tully cutting that vicious promo.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys, neither of you are you're not champions. You can't say that until you're a champion, no matter where you're at.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. That's why you got to vote for us for best podcast.
We can't say yes.
Pittsburgh City Paper. .com. Go to Best of PGH. People and Places. Scroll all the way down to Best Local Podcast and just click Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast. Just hit vote.
But also too, with All Elite, the NXT is a little bit lower. Now they have a takeover this weekend, and the only reason why I'm saying this about NXT takeover is the guy that can cut a promo who's not even a professional wrestler is Pat McAfee.
Oh, yeah.
McAfee was gold the other night.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Gold.
Do you remember when I think we were doing the last show when they had
Yes.
And I said, it just seems like a work. And then we said, maybe we'll see you in the next couple weeks. And
I didn't realize he was training.
Yeah.
He bought a ring. Rip Rogers is training him. He's been training. But just him on the microphone alone, because he has podcasts, he's on ESPN, he can talk. He's always been like this. He's always been like this.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Are you going to watch TakeOver, or are you going to watch AEW?
Well, I'm not going to watch either because I'm going to a wedding tomorrow. So congratulations, Robin and Jess, because tomorrow we're going to party like rock stars. I'm just going to watch it later.
Bubba's getting schmammered.
I'm getting hammered, people.
I am going to watch AEW. I'm going to watch AEW, and then I'll watch TakeOver another time. But the product's just
okay.
Honestly.
So who do you guys like in that TakeOver match?
Okay.
Do you like Cole or do you like McAfee? McAfee's a Pittsburgh guy,
I'm going
right?
to go against the grain. I'm going to go against the grain because I'm going to go Pat McAfee just because I like how he talks. And I know everybody's like, he's not a wrestler, Bubba, and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I want to be entertained.
Is Undisputed still together? Are they still?
They're still together.
They're still together.
So maybe they interfere?
Yeah, I mean,
he had like an MMA guy, didn't he?
He had
football players.
He had a cavalry behind him. He's not dumb.
Okay.
I don't know. I think
he said if he's good for 3 minutes, if he wins in 3 minutes, he's okay with that. He's going in. McAfee's going in quick to try to win it. That's what he said on Madden.
That's how I am. I'm like, if I get into a fight, it's
I'm
gonna be done in 3 minutes.
I'm good for 30 seconds is all I got because I'm almost 50.
I think Cole should win.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he should win. Will they let that happen? I don't know. I mean,
if you've seen him punt,
I know
when he did that punt, that was good, man.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
I really think at one time they really wanted him to be the next Shawn Michaels, but
they did.
It's not there. It's not there.
I grew up with Ring of Honor. I love Ring of Honor. Those guys are all Ring of Honor guys, right? Though Adam Cole never did anything for me. And I just don't. I don't think he's the second coming of Shawn Michaels. I can tell you that.
No way.
Not even close. I think he's limited in the ring.
Is he the fourth coming of Shawn Michaels?
No, he's not even 12th.
Oh, okay.
But I think he's limited in the ring. He can work. Okay, he's not limited in the ring like John Cena's limited in the ring, right? But he doesn't do a ton.
You say that John Cena is limited in the ring.
Yep. Well,
but watch those AJ matches over again.
AJ made that match.
You think AJ carried that?
Sure.
But he had Cena doing stuff that you've never seen Cena do before.
Well, it's something different. I'm not a Cena guy.
He brought the best.
Never was.
Nope. I thought Styles brought the best out of Cena.
Styles brings the best out in everybody.
Yeah.
Yep. And I don't know. Like I said this before. I don't know why we're not talking about AJ Styles being the best wrestler in the world or one of the best wrestlers ever. Because I've never ever seen a bad AJ Styles match. I've seen bad Ric Flair matches.
I have, yeah.
I've never seen a bad AJ Styles match.
I've never seen a bad Hogan match. I'm kidding. I was kidding. Yeah, I have.
But
I've seen a lot of bad Bubba Brewer matches that were bad too. So
we were kind of touching on Bischoff and Cena. So Bischoff did an interview this week, and he basically put it out there that there hasn't been a true star since John Cena, a true draw, face of the company star. I think the closest thing to it was Becky a year ago after she beat Ronda, or 2 years ago.
Yeah, and she was Nova hot. She
was
Nova hot
when Nia Jax busted her open.
That was it, and
then
she
it
came
was
back.
She was the hottest thing in the company. And then they watered it down, and then Seth's penis took the title. she lost the title.
She also lost.
She lost the title to Seth's penis.
She lost the title to Seth's penis, and she also lost a lot of movie roles because they were looking at her to maybe be in a couple Marvel movies, I believe too. I don't know what character she was going to play, but it didn't pan out right now. Maybe later. But I don't know. It's so hard because I'm so old
Seth
school.
was kind of there for a minute.
I don't think he put enough asses in the seats.
Yeah.
I mean, AJ Styles is he's
the top guy.
He's the top guy, but
I
don't think that he put enough asses in the seats.
No,
I can't think of anybody, and
but
maybe
that's
Eric
the thing,
Bischoff's right.
They don't book him right,
And
they don't book him to be the guy.
They don't book anybody right. Cesaro is a bookable world champion, and they didn't do anything with him.
Not in WWE.
Not in WWE, and so a lot of guys that they have, like, they just don't book them right. So they're not going to book them right, maybe due to the fact that they're actually always were pushing.
It was funny. I read a thing about with Jericho the other day, and he said the guy that he would like to see most in AEW was Cesaro. He said he could easily be a champion.
He would thrive there.
I would take that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it would be better for Cesaro.
Well, see, and I was listening, and this is I'm not trying to get off topic a little bit.
Go ahead.
But I was listening to Cornette or Dave Meltzer said that Moxley reminded him of Stone Cold, and the guys from the Attitude Era, and I can't see that.
No, Moxley was unique.
Moxley doesn't remind me of Stone Cold.
And when
Stone
he was
Cold's a different
Ambrose, he was everybody wants to find that next Stone Cold.
MJF reminds him of The Rock. A younger version of The Rock. I like MJF as a great talker.
Why can't he just be the first MJF?
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Why does he have to be the next Rock?
Well, any one of us could be Meltzer and talk about stuff, and sometimes he doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about.
I don't agree with that. I think that's part of the problem is everybody looks backwards too much, and even with Becky, they were like linking her to the female Stone Cold. Like, why does she have to?
She should have did her own stuff.
Why
She come with that
can't she
truck.
Just be the first Becky Lynch, the first man. You know what I mean?
Do you guys think Moxley is the guy in AEW? Like, he's the champion, yes. But I don't think
MJF.
I don't think he's the guy there, and I don't know what they would do with him if he didn't have the title.
Is Cody the guy?
Cody's defending against everybody in the TV title. He's doing that every show. He's defending the title against guys that are signing from the NWA and just signing people like the big name.
You don't have to have an AEW contract to wrestle for his title.
Right. So he's taking everybody.
Right. And
so maybe the guest we have tonight, one of these times.
Who knows?
That could happen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't surprise me if you see the TNT title defended in New Japan at some point. You know
I
what
can
I mean?
see that. I think it was mentioned at one point.
He wants to make that title notable, like
prestigious.
to where like Ric Flair used to take it to promotion to promotion, right? He does, I think he's trying to get back into that and break the barriers of just you defend this title here and here only, and that's it. So he's bringing guys in. Obviously, you can't travel because of COVID.
I like the traditional and the old school state of mind.
Me too.
Of AEW, I'm just not in yet. You guys got to sell me better.
No, I'm an old guy. I'm an old guy. Remember the old super cards of the mid '80s, like the AWA and World Class Championship Wrestling. Could you see sometime soon where All Elite, Impact, Ring of Honor, NWA could do something one night where they're showcasing some kind of champion and something to compete with WWE, because that
head with WrestleMania,
something where they can actually do something viable for the fans who actually want to see that, because sometimes I don't want to see 75 ninjas doing stuff and busting up at Retribution when they're doing whatever they're doing. Like tonight, they're doing the visual stuff, which is stupid in my opinion.
The
anyway,
NBA's kind of doing something like
I don't
that
watch
already.
NBA,
I think that's where they got that idea. One of my NBA friends.
Well, you know where they got it? The Blue Meanie. He called that.
Well, then they should give the Blue Meanie money for
exactly. So shout outs to Blue Meanie. But actually, Cable here just showed me a screen of what it looks like. It actually looks kind of cool. I'll give him that.
It looks like the Muppet Show.
It actually looks kind of cool. But it's.
Oh, it looks like a full arena. I wish I could have a screen. Put the screenshot. On the screen.
It looks like where's Waldo?
If it's gonna help, if it's gonna help the workers work better, sure.
I'll watch the playback.
Well,
of it.
All Elite this weekend is actually opening up their crowd to 10 to.
But back to your point, Bubs, is okay. I don't think any of those other promotions are big enough that it would benefit AEW at all.
Okay,
is what I'm saying.
Well,
could that happen? Yeah, that'd be awesome. To do cross promotions, but like I said,
that stuff,
well, did you guys see EC3 is he just signed on to do
Ring of Honor?
Ring of Honor, so he's not just
What a
locked
waste!
into
What a
Impact.
waste of talent.
That's another guy that I.
And then he's reinventing himself right now.
You have to.
He has a whole new look, a whole new persona.
He's got a couple earrings and a little goatee. I guess that works.
Here's the thing.
He looks like a French
I think.
Oh, oui, oui.
I think he's another guy that was overrated. I think he's great on the mic, but I don't think his work rate's that great.
I think he has the look. I think his work in the ring, I think, is good.
I thought he'd be champion in WWE by now because that is Vince stereotypical.
But
that is his man. That is his guy.
They did it to Sting. Why wouldn't they do it to EC3?
Oh, they ruined.
EC3 was the biggest face in Impact Wrestling.
To this day, they excuse my French people, they fucked Sting hard.
So why wouldn't they?
They did. That WrestleMania moment was not.
They just kind of stuck it right up EC3's ass. You know,
well, he's Dixie's
sucks.
nephew. That's probably why.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Is that real or was that?
No, that was a word.
Was a gimmick.
But I'll say she always hits like on my post when I do stuff with me and Tammy, and she hits like, oh, love. So hey, Dixie, I know it.
She's not wrestling mindset. But
No,
she's
it
a hell of a
wasn't.
person. From what I
Well,
understand.
yeah, she's great if she responds to my. Hey, when they respond to my stuff on social media, God bless her.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that was just his way of crushing Impact. And now look, they're scooping up all these guys from.
But Impact, I've watched it. It's not bad. It's just.
It's coming back. It's rebuilding.
It's something different.
Just real quick, guys.
That goddamn company won't die.
I checked our feed here, and Travis Williams. Thank you for
Trav,
for commenting, but he said
he's a fellow
Bischoff.
radio guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Bischoff is right, and I don't see anybody else that's even close to the star potential. And then he also said there will never be another Stone Cold in a PG era. That's
I
exactly
agree with
right.
that. I agree with that.
Yep. But they did away with the PG era. I think they dropped that recently.
Just recently.
Because the ninjas are going to get extremely violent.
Yes.
And maybe strip and streak.
They're going to move their mouth and like,
they're going to have bra and panty matches.
fight me. You don't go there.
Godzilla's going to come in.
That's borderline
I got a Godzilla
racist,
poster coming downstairs, actually.
Ninjas' lives matter. I don't know.
Oh, it's terrible. And they moved Pritchard from SmackDown to Raw.
So that's why Raw is so bad.
And then
No, they just recently did that
the
because
lead
I think
person in NXT,
I believe maybe
the lead writer in NXT just stepped down.
Yeah. Which
So that's not a good sign
no. I mean,
for NXT.
Well, when you're going on a little boat, and when the boat you're casting, you're like Gilligan and a skipper, and you're on the boat and nothing. The waves are coming, but you're not capsized yet. But you got to get to port, and you're just going to keep doing what you need to do just to make it go. And they're just going to make it go until after this COVID, and then hopefully
you can't blame this on COVID.
No, well,
because you can't. AEW is doing fine. I mean,
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I think there's some indie
still need to get a
promotions
million-
that
they
are
need to
out
get a
there
million.
thriving right now.
they need to get a
There's
million.
indie promotions out there thriving right now. It's forcing them to be creative, come up with outside the box thinking. Look, IWC's doing a drive-in. And next couple
Well,
of
we
weeks,
did-
here's the thing,
they
guys.
did Wild Thing Stadium
I've
right
never-
before my wedding.
I've never been so down on WWE in my life, and it kills me to even talk bad about them. Honestly, I've been with them. When it was the Attitude Era, I was a WWE guy, right? I was a WWE guy.
Mantar. You were a fan when Mantar was wrestling.
Right? Exactly.
Okay.
But
the thing of it is,
WWE's always been the standard.
it has, and it kills me to say this, but I am just so disengaged with it. I've never felt this way before, but I just can't sit there and watch it.
It's the NFL of wrestling.
Even when WCW was winning in the ratings, WWE still had a solid product.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and like I said, I don't know.
But they had good workers back then, and they were giving everybody a piece of the pie during that time,
Yeah.
especially during the Attitude Era. Everybody had something to do. Now everybody doesn't have anything to do, and some people you don't even see due to not even being able to come down and because of the COVID. You know what I mean? And they just don't have anything. They trash the Performance Center every week for the past 2 to 3 weeks. How much money do they got to put windows back in there and clean everything up after they trash it with this retribution bullshit?
Well, they're saving money on everybody traveling, so gotta.
Well, don't you? They got to pay for that.
They got to spend all that money Vince is making somehow.
Right.
Some tax write-offs.
But it's just so bad anymore, and it kills me to say that. It really does.
Before our guest comes in, did you guys see this week? Shawn Michaels was getting a little bit of heat.
I didn't.
Getting up a little quickly after the RKO.
I just see the meme where you look like the guy from Home Alone. That's
he
all
looks
I
terrible.
saw.
I better give him some of my hair pills because my
I have no
I don't
room
know
to
if you
talk.
guys-
I'm a bald guy. You
I
know,
don't know if you guys
am, but-
noticed for my wedding, my hair came back. I had a full head of hair for my
Photoshop.
wedding. No, I've been taking pills.
Where else
to
has it
make
been
my-
growing?
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, so my hair grows. So maybe I should send some to Shawn Michaels.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, I'm a bald guy, right? But I just accept the fact that I'm a bald guy, so shave it. So why
Well,
do
I
the
am
comb
not-
over?
I'm not bald, but I'll never accept that I'm heavy. So that's never going to happen in my life. But I'm letting my hair grow.
Okay.
I
You're letting it
haven't
grow-
been.
come back?
I haven't been. Yeah, I haven't been.
Bubsters come
I
back.
haven't been to the. I'm not
gonna
waiting
dye it
45. No, I am not waiting 45 minutes to get a haircut now. I still won't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's just ridiculous.
back on topic.
We're off topic.
What do you guys think? Like, do you think that Shawn Michaels getting up quickly after taking an RKO, and I think he punted, he kicked him pretty hard at one point. Do you think that that
Was he doing it to be a smartass to Randy Orton?
it very well could be?
Well, maybe.
He's old.
And they're not going to bitch at
He
Shawn
forgot to
Michaels.
sell.
So Shawn Michaels did.
Why didn't they just edit it out like they do everything else? Like they did like the Mickey James entrance. Who cares? Edit it out.
Well, this is going to be this thing coming up when we get later on in the show when we give our picks. This SummerSlam is probably the worst SummerSlam.
Just like the WrestleMania.
Yes,
And
it's terrible. And I am a big Drew McIntyre fan. And
So,
it's
do you
not
think
right.
Drew could be the guy that could be the next John Cena, or the face of the company?
No.
Why not?
I just don't
I
see
think
him. He's not going to sell neon shirts, and he's not going to,
He doesn't have to sell neon shirts. He can sell black shirts.
And I
would
listen. I would pay to see Drew McIntyre any day over John Cena, but I am a wrestling fan, not an entertainment fan. Okay, so but the thing of it is, like, there's a difference. Wrestling fans, yes, Drew McIntyre is a wet dream.
So you don't think he could be the face of the company? He's kind of like a Cinderella story for what happened at WrestleMania.
He's the face of the company right now.
He hasn't got a chance to actually shine carrying a title among the crowd.
He is
among the
one
fans.
person that has gotten screwed by COVID because he didn't have his WrestleMania moment, and it would have been so much more dramatic in front of the masses.
I believe he can talk. He has the skills in the ring because, he went out when he got fired. He went out and chose to. He went out to Evolve. He went to Impact. He went to NXT. He can talk now. He's in shape. He looks like a wrestler, like of all the marquee stuff that you want to get. Like, I don't want a pink and a orange John Cena. I want a black shirt or something like that. He could probably
He's
sell
marketable,
merch.
but
Yes.
I agree with Mav. I don't think he's the future.
No, he's not
He's
going to.
right now.
He's not going to attract the little kids with the neon shirts like the Fruity Pebbles, as The Rock said.
But
You
we
know what
don't
I mean?
need that.
Maybe
Stone
no.
Cold wasn't like that. We don't need that now.
No, but
black shirts.
But like I said, he was also given free reigns during the Attitude Era.
So this is going to wrap up our headline portion of the program, and we're going to unveil our new segment. I got to get music for this new segment we have. It's Triple B's Triple Threat segment, and
There
the
we go.
Triple Threat, meaning Bubba handpicks the hottest guys on the indie scene right now that are triple threats and have it all the factors that makes them a triple threat.
They look good. They look like wrestlers. They're
They talk like
charismatic,
wrestlers.
and they can work in a ring like professional wrestlers that you, as a little kid, idolized and have the it factor. That's what I'm doing. The it factor.
Right.
And this gentleman coming up
Right.
has the it factor, and I've said this from day one.
So
I'm excited.
without further ado, he's waiting, guys.
Awesome.
Without further ado, let's welcome to the program Spencer Slade.
What's up, Spence?
Guys, what's up, man? I appreciate you guys for having me on this interview. I love it. I can't wait.
First one, man. Handpicked first one.
It's historic. It's historic, Spence.
Man, I like those posters back there.
Honored to be on it. I love talking wrestling. Want to get to know you guys and see, and most importantly, just shoot everything. Just tell it like it is. one thing I love about wrestling is it gives you the opportunity to express yourself and let everybody know what you're all about.
Well, and Spencer, welcome to the program. Let's get into before we get into the wrestling side of everything. Give us a little bit of background of yourself before wrestling.
Before wrestling, yeah. So I've always been an athlete my whole life. Athletics was always number one. Did well in school. Went to college, played football. Went to Duquesne. That's where I played college ball for a year there. Then I went and played down at Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was a D2 All-American. Did well down there. Had the opportunity to try out for the CFL. Unfortunately, didn't make it. But that was okay because I always knew I wanted to get into wrestling. So I played all the way up until I almost got to the professional level, and then, bam, it was wrestling, man. Wrestling's always been that first dream. So always been an athlete my whole life.
Yeah, so you were a very high-leveled football player. You almost made it to the CFL. So how was the transition from football to wrestling for you?
To be honest with you, wrestling is probably the most natural thing I've ever done because one thing about wrestling is when you're a fan, if you watch it your whole life, you kind of know what it's supposed to look like. You kind of know exactly ins and outs. So I would say wrestling has probably been the most natural thing I've done in my life. Football definitely is a great sport to play. I can tell you that because you're usually getting hit. You're used to running around. So I would say it was a pretty smooth transition.
Just for curiosity's sake, Spence, what position did you play?
I was an outside linebacker, so I was used to
nice.
I was used to sacking the quarterback. It feels the same way as winning a championship or just wrestling a match. I mean, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
That's awesome. Now, your journey into professional wrestling, was there any obstacles that you had to overcome?
Obstacles, I would have to say. And like I said, I'm a very honest person. Obstacles, I would have to say, is probably trying to, in wrestling, it's all about respect. I would say the obstacle is probably trying to get along with everybody in wrestling just because I come from a just a little bit different mindset to wrestling. You know, a lot of guys here in the Indies, I can tell, they kind of look at wrestling more as like a team in terms of talking to everybody or some kind of group. Whereas me, I look at wrestling as simply a business. You know, I didn't get into wrestling to make friends. I didn't get into wrestling to be liked. I mean, we could be friendly, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to get to the next level. So I look at wrestling as purely a business. That's probably the first obstacle that I probably had to overcome. Because when you come from football, you know, it's every man for themselves. You only care about yourself. Whereas wrestling, that's kind of a little bit different, especially behind the scenes. So that's it. That's
there's a lot of unwritten rules and things like that, and you have to learn coming up.
Don't want to make anybody mad.
You don't want to step on the wrong toes. Or, so your headgear that you wear in the ring, that's like pretty one of your signatures. What's the reason for the headgear?
That's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up. So that's kind of where I got the whole fear of the gear mentality from. You see, so I obviously, since I'm deaf in both ears, I have to wear hearing aids for the rest of my life. So funny story. When I first took my first bump ever in a wrestling ring, my hearing aids popped out of my ears.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my gosh.
So, man, there's something that I got to wear or do to prevent that. So I started wearing wrestler's headgear, and I think it's cool. There's not many guys in wrestling.
Right.
So that's that market value I call that. You got to have something that differentiates you between everybody else, and I think the headgear right there.
We really haven't seen it since the Steiners, and then Kurt Angle did it for a minute or two to keep his wig on. But yeah, no, seriously, yeah, you're right.
Because you see a lot of guys, you know, a lot of guys look the same. You know, they wear the same headgear or they wear the same kind of ring gear. They wear long tights. They wear flashy kind of stuff, but to me, it also, to the headgear, man, it gives off a realness vibe, you know, because I've done a little wrestling here or there. I like to say that I look like an athlete, so I think the
you do definitely look like a professional wrestler.
I remember the first time I seen you come through the curtain. Actually, I was with, I came down to see Bubba get inducted for Imagine Wrestling there, and I'm like, oh damn, this guy looks like $1 million, and then I'm like, okay, let's see if he can work, and then you were able to work, and I was like, wow. Who is this guy?
That's crazy. That's crazy because I think that was my debut match there. Imagine, because I know I've only been wrestling for a little over a year now.
Gee, a year.
That was one of the questions later on. That baffles me, Spence.
Yeah, so I actually made my. If you look at this poster right here, it's an IWC Proving Ground 8. So I had my first match on May 25th, 2019. So
Wow.
a little over a year ago.
Wow.
I'd have never thought that.
Nope.
So we were talking about obstacles. I didn't realize that you were deaf. Is that from birth or something that happened?
Yeah, correct. From
So
birth, yeah.
has that caused any obstacles with you in the ring or anything besides the first match they fell out?
You got to communicate in there.
Yeah, I've been very, very good at trying to see. This is kind of where my whole story gets into wrestling here because I've taken the advantage of trying to be the absolute best that I can be in wrestling, just so I don't have to make this an issue.
Right.
So I'll do all kind of extra kind of training, ring positioning and stuff like that. Really get to know the opponent well, so I don't ever have to put myself in that situation to where my hearing becomes a concern.
And you don't use that, Spencer, because I've seen you in many matches and you don't. Like, nobody would know unless since you just told them, and people don't know that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
I would rather have a wrestling match and I take my headgear off and people go, oh, well, crap, I didn't know Spencer wore hearing aids. That's the best
I didn't. I'll be honest with you.
You know what? That story alone makes you something that a lot of guys out there can't say they are. You're a role model and an inspiration to young kids out there.
Yep.
And I hope that that you see that and you use it.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing you said, because once again, it goes back to my mindset of wrestling being a business. I'm at the bottom of the independents, but I consider myself a brand, Spencer Slade brand. What do I want to be remembered as? I want to be remembered as, that guy that inspired kids. I think a lot of guys in indies, they get into this mindset where it's all about trying to be the coolest guy or this or that. But you fail to realize, if you're trying to get to the WWE, that's a business, man. That's all about branding, all about trying to please their corporate, stockholders, shareholders. So you have to give something to the WWE or the other companies that they can make money off of. It's all about marketing.
Well, Spencer, I've seen you, be very humbled, and you are a role model to the young people, because I've seen the kids come up to you and flock to you, and you spent time talking to each and every one of them. You know what I mean? So I see that, and I've always seen that every time I've actually seen you wrestle live. So you have respect. You always been the utmost respectful to me. You always come up and you always say, "Hi, Bubba, how you doing?" And that means a lot to an old guy like me. But can you tell me what promotions you are currently working for, Spencer?
So currently working for right now is just Imagine right now at IWC in Pittsburgh. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm at this part in my career where even though I've only been in wrestling for a year, I have a future WWE tryout at some point, which we'll probably talk about later. So I'm not interested in wrestling. My whole mindset is quality matches over quantity of matches. Obviously, there's a couple other wrestling companies out there, but I would much rather wrestle against quality opponents versus wrestling somewhere every week, and it might not be quality of wrestling might not be to where
That's
I
a
would
good
like
mind.
it.
That's a good mindset to have.
They're two great promotions too. So
yeah, they're real good.
They're
They're the best in Pennsylvania. Now, who actually trained you, and where did you start your training at?
Believe it or not, I was trained by Chris LaRusso at the IWC Wrestling
good
Academy.
man.
That's
Yeah.
where I trained at.
And
I trained at
we know Chris pretty well.
title from.
Okay. Now, and you said less than a year in the business.
Right.
Less than a year in the business, and who was your first opponent, if you can remember, and how did that match go?
First opponent was his debut match. It happened to be a tag team match with myself and a kid named Zach Nystrom against Chris LaRusso and Jock Sampson. That was my first
Oh,
match.
okay, Jock. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good tag team to go against right there. Those guys, I think, held titles. I believe.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it would be nice to debut in the main event, but at the end of the day, you got to get what you can get, especially for a debut match. So,
Got to start
that was
somewhere.
my debut match right there.
Okay. Now let me ask you another question. What was your favorite match so far in your young, illustrious career? Because it's.
Oh my God! Favorite match happened to be this past last weekend against.
Oh, okay, good. Because I'm going to talk about that right now, because that match to me, and I've seen a lot of wrestling, And I've watched a lot of wrestling, and me as a fan, because that's what I am now, that and a super duper podcaster and stuff like that. That match with big time Bill Collier was the best match I saw since the APWF ran a show in Florida where we had Aaron Stevens and Roderick Strong in our wrestling ring, and that's no bullshit.
And Spence, don't choke me or anything, but I consider Bill Collier a really good friend of mine. And I'm sorry that I missed that match, but I really need to see the third one. So
absolutely, come on up.
We'll be there because I always had high praise for also Bill. Bill, right. If no offense, if I was going to own a company, you, Bill, Sammy Elias, like there'd be people that I would have on my company if I had it, and you are one of them.
So is he your favorite person to work with then? This far?
Absolutely. I mean, I can't think of a better person. Like a big time Bill Collier. I mean, I cringed when he told me he was 40 years old. I couldn't believe.
Yeah, who would have thought?
He's a machine.
I've worked Bill numerous times. He's given me the best matches all 3 times I think I've worked him. To be honest with you.
Man, that's awesome. I'm sure after every match you thought you were better, you were more prepared.
Oh, he made me look good. He did. He can make anybody look good.
First time I ever seen him, he was running the ropes like the Taker, and I thought he was phenomenal then. But you and him, this third match coming is going to be epic. So what titles have you held, except I know you had the Imagine Wrestling title. Did you have any other titles, or was that your first title?
Unfortunately not, no. The Imagine Wrestling Championship was the first championship I won about 6 months after I made my debut.
That's still good. That's people been in the business for 20 years don't win a title.
It won't be your last.
It will not be your last.
It will not be your last, brother. It will not.
And going back to that match, like I told Bubba, one thing about me is I always go out of my way. It's I liken it to like if you see like a veteran out in public who has a hat on, you always go up and shake his hand and thank him for his service. Same thing with a wrestling vet. You always go up and thank him. You always go up and talk to them because you guys were there before us. It's just that mutual respect. Well, so when you say that was one of the best matches you've seen, Bob, I couldn't think of
I'm telling you, I've been raving about it all week, and everything I've done from work to to my social media. You're on it. You know what I mean? Because I also see you on social media doing your training regimen. So what kind of training regimen do you do to keep in top physical shape? Because brother, you're in shape, man.
I seen pictures, just real quick. I seen pictures of you probably of like 2010. You were at a WWE event. And I think you look like me. And then, we're looking how many years later, and you look like $1 million. So what are you doing, man? You're doing something right.
This all goes back to everything that ties up in wrestling. Like I tell people all the time, I dedicate my life to wrestling. I sacrificed everything for wrestling. And I tell people this all the time. I do not have a life outside of this. I don't have any friends. I don't have a social life. I don't have a girlfriend right now. Everything in my life is about getting signed and getting to the next level.
Ooh, wow.
I dedicate everything to diet, to training, to watching film, to watching matches on YouTube, the network. I basically do what I think those guys down in NXT are doing right now. So that's my mindset.
That is the best mindset to have.
So what would be a dream opponent of yours?
A dream opponent would be against this man right here.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what about on the indies, though? Is there somebody on the indies that...
That's a good question. Let me think here. I mean, definitely, the big-time Bill Collier one was a dream one, but I would have to say I would love on the indies to wrestle like, for example, Brian Pillman Jr. That'd be a great one right there.
Yeah, that would be.
Ooh.
And let me
just hear that, promoters?
Yeah. let me just say this: if you ever get in the ring with Jimmy the Hippie, one of the most I don't know if you've worked him, but he is one of the most underrated wrestlers I've ever seen. His mind for wrestling is amazing. I traveled, not anymore, but I traveled with those guys, and I'm telling you what, his wrestling mind is a genius. So pick his brain. Learn whatever you can off. If you can, get in the ring with him.
Absolutely. You know what? I talk to Jimmy the Hippie all the time. It's funny because him and Big Burl are always BSing in the locker room before the shows. It's funny, man. They've been through all kind of stuff together.
Yes,
I was just hearing funny stories.
Yep.
Here's a funny story. I don't think he's ever told you, but he actually, big time Bill Collier was late to a match, and him and Jimmy were a tag team. and Bill called Jimmy on the phone 5 minutes before they were going to go out, telling him his comeback while he was driving to the ring.
Well, Bill's never late for anything.
No,
so that
he's usually
surprises
early.
me. That surprises
Must
me.
have been a train in front of the tracks or something.
But that's funny. I could see that. I can completely see that.
Oh, my God.
So we're all getting our shit in. So I could say, so Todd went, Bubba went, and so I'm gonna ask like little fun questions maybe for you. Okay, so
I'm here to talk about anything and everything.
okay. So let me ask you this: what was your first wrestling memory as a kid? How old were you? What was that first wrestling moment for you that it stuck and said, "Wow"?
It would have been WrestleMania 19, 2003. I think I was 7 or 8 years old. It was Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar for the title, right in Seattle.
Okay.
That was the first match I've ever watched.
Wow.
And
That's
from
the
there,
one where Lesnar did the
Yep.
And this is where I'm going to talk about my issues with modern wrestling and
Okay.
kind of what my view of wrestling is, because I know it's all chocolate vanilla. We got different views of
yes,
wrestling.
yeah, we do.
So when I watched it as a kid, it was two men that looked like athletes that were professional badasses that had a wrestling match. It was believable.
Yep.
There was
Yes.
no goofy, silly stuff going on. You believed every single thing that was going on in that match. That's why it stuck to me.
Yeah. Okay, I can see
Every
that.
independent wrestler, if you're listening to the Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast, and if you didn't listen to what Spencer Slade said, you got to listen to this because it is the Bible. And that I truly appreciate that.
I agree
Yeah.
1,000,000% with you,
Absolutely.
Spencer.
Absolutely. So, next question. Give me your top 5 favorite wrestlers.
It would be Kurt Angle number 1, Randy Orton number 2. I would put
That means you're taking
Bret Hart.
Hey, you're taking Randy this weekend.
I love Randy Orton, man. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Okay, so Kurt Angle, Randy Orton, and what was the last 3?
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Okay.
I would put Mr. Perfect.
Okay. Wow.
Ooh.
Good.
And
Good.
then Dolph Ziggler.
Really?
Dolph
Okay.
Ziggler.
How about that?
I'm
Wow.
on Dolph, too.
Just a little thing. Bubba dropped him off at a strip club one time.
Oh,
He invited us to go in, but we had to work. But 2 other colleagues of ours went in with him. I don't know how they got home, but that's just a little something about
That's the
Dolph
stories of our lives. you know?
We're always missing out, you know.
That's a good top 5. That is
That
solid.
is good.
That's solid.
Yes, absolutely.
why I put them as that is just once again, when it comes time to wrestling, I've always liked wrestling as which guys are wrestlers, and those are the kind of guys that I just because to me, and I think I've said it in social media, it goes back to treating wrestling like a business. I look at wrestling as a sport. There's some people out there, fans, indie guys. Like I said, it's all different tastes. They may see wrestling as a choreographed stunt show or a circus show or a little show-off circus actor, silly, goofy stuff like that. Me, I take wrestling seriously. Guys like Harley Race. You know how pissed off those guys would be to see what wrestling has become today?
Oh, they bitch slap him in the next week.
Exactly. Guys like that dedicated their life to making wrestling as real and as shoot as possible. That's my mindset. I like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, man. It was kind of funny how you mentioned Randy Orton as one of your top guys because when Bubba introduced me to what is the legend of Spencer Slade, I said this guy looks a lot like Randy Orton minus the headgear. And you're actually in a lot better you're a little more ripped up than Randy, but I can tell that he's an influence of yours by your look.
Kurt Angle as well. Kurt Angle. And then
this is kind of where it goes to my crazy life story with wrestling with my hearing loss. So I idolized. So Kurt Angle was out of WWE by 2006. So by that point on, I obsessed with Randy Orton. He was my all-time favorite because Kurt Angle had left and went to like TNA and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With Randy Orton, like I said, when I was a kid, I always got picked on by, because always got bullied because the hearing loss. So because I got picked on as a kid, sports was my escape. Sports is what kind of made me get people to take me seriously. And this is where this story gets real crazy. You guys remember when Randy Orton was 2009 when he feuded with the McMahon family when he was the biggest heel in wrestling?
Yep.
Well, that kind of mindset of I don't care what people think of me, just being a heel. I kind of took that in sports and had that no pity mindset of I don't care who you are. I'm dedicating my life to being the best athlete that I can be. I'm gonna use sports as my way of getting people to take me seriously. So that's why wrestling means so much to me, because, it gave me everything I needed to be the best person, player, student, anything that I could be.
Okay. Nice.
Crazy story, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is a great story.
This is a great interview.
So you mentioned about WrestleMania 19 with Kurt Angle and Lesnar. So is that considered your favorite match of all time, or do you have give me your favorite match of all time that's not your own? Is it that one, or is there another one?
Favorite match of all time, I just watched it last night. I'm going to have to do WrestleMania 20, Eddie versus Kurt Angle.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay.
I can agree with you there. That's probably one of my top ones too.
The real wrestling clinic that they put on, that's just, God bless Eddie Guerrero. That was my favorite match right there.
Okay.
I have to say. Yeah.
Nice. Good pick. So what do you say your ultimate goal is in wrestling? I think you kind of alluded to this, but
Ultimate.
yes.
I have my ultimate goal. I have my short, and I have I would say.
Give me your 5-year plan.
5-year plan would be to get signed to NXT. I would like to become the NXT champion within 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
And then after that would be obviously the main event WrestleMania, be the WWE champion, be the face of the company, and represent the WWE the same way John Cena did, trying to inspire young kids. Because this is kind of where this is like the WWE. I don't think they've ever had a deaf wrestler or a wrestler of some kind of disability. And I'm not trying to get people to feel bad for me, but I thought to myself, man, that would be a damn good way.
But you don't use that.
No,
your
it's not your
athletic
crutch.
ability.
And you can't tell.
No.
You cannot tell that there's
Right.
Don't hide it.
That would be
Embrace it. Yeah, don't hide it. Embrace it, because, like I said, like Todd alluded earlier, you're a complete role model. Absolutely. So, let me ask you this: what makes Spencer Slade so different and special that he's going to achieve that goal in 5 years?
I would have to
Tell
say,
me.
I would have to say the fact that the other thing. So I would say the fact that just how much wrestling means to me, and the reason why I say that is because that right there dictates how much I dedicate to my life to wrestling, how much I sacrifice for wrestling. I would say my unmatched work ethic and drive to be the absolute best is probably what's going to get me to that goal. Because I want to be able to make young kids feel the WWE the same way those guys made me feel when I watched it 8 to 9, 10 years old. That's the ultimate goal.
Nice. Okay. Good.
You dedicate the rest of your natural life towards chasing that childhood dream.
Okay.
That's the answer right there.
But WWE is your end game. That's where you want to be.
WWE is the end game. I've been a WWE kid since I was born.
Can I ask you something? What do you feel about AEW?
You know what? That's a good question. I'm glad we talked about this. AEW.
Just
I
be
like
honest.
how
It's all good.
It's there's some guys there in AEW that I like. It's great. There's an alternative to wrestling. I just feel, in my opinion, that NXT is just more. It's more believable, or it's more. There's more like wrestling, kind of my style, my taste of wrestling in NXT. The problem with AEW is, I feel like it's almost like this billionaire. He's got all this money in the world. He doesn't care if there's goofy stuff. He doesn't care if there's mess ups. He's just got all this money in the world to where he can run AEW exactly how he wants it. And that's perfectly fine. If you're getting paid that kind of money to do stuff, then good for you. But there's some guys there that are just not believable. That should never be in a wrestling ring. Like, I'm not a fan of Marco's stunt.
Okay.
Not too many people are.
I understand.
See, I'm right with you, Spencer. I feel the same way that these guys keep trying to sell me on it, and I'm just not. I'm a WWE guy just like you.
But if you went to All Elite and All Elite contacted you, would you go maybe a year from now? Maybe. Because they do need bigger guys. I believe they do need bigger guys that can wrestle, and your technique and your mat ability would be something in that federation.
I would say absolutely yes. Like I said, whatever opportunity comes where we can earn a full-time level wrestling, first I'd take it in a heartbeat.
Okay, so let me ask you this real quick. I like doing these would you rathers, okay? That's what I call them. Would you rather go to WWE and never win a title, never headline a WrestleMania, or would you rather go to AEW and do all of those things?
That's a damn good question. I would have to say to go to AEW and win titles and main event their shows, just because from there it's up to you as to how far you want to take it to AEW. Who knows how big AEW could get in 5 years from now? And who knows if they could be bankrupt and be out of business in 5 years from now? You don't know that.
That could be too.
Right.
That could be too. So you would say AEW?
I would, because I would want to be in a position that I know where I should rightfully be in.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I look.
So you want to be valued as a performer?
Business, man. Just make as much money as you can and have the best matches.
I get it, man. I understand.
We're getting to the wrap up part of the interview. I got a pretty good question for you. What's next for Spencer Slade?
What's next for Spencer Slade? So what's next for me would be to get my championship back from Big Time Bill Collier on September. Is it the 19th? I think it is.
I believe it is. I believe it is.
Yeah, as you guys know, man, I don't think you're gonna find any other indie matches around here that's gonna.
There is no indie match compared to this. This is the trifecta. This is the trifecta, brother. This is the biggest indie heavyweight title match in a long time.
It's two guys that, dedicate their life to the sport of wrestling that look like athletes that are going there and having a wrestling match, If you're not somebody that likes it, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to watch it, If you want to go watch your silly flippy match that involves guys that look like fans that have no physique, that's okay. That's your taste of wrestling. But when Big Bill and I get in there, it's real. We're going at it.
Okay.
So
do you have any words for, say, Mr. Collier's listening? Do you have any words for him right now?
First of all, I have to say, Big Bill, I respect the hell out of you, man. Everything you've ever done in wrestling, I just want you to know it doesn't go unnoticed. As much as I respect you as a competitor, I just know that, that's not going to stop me from taking that title from you on Saturday, September 19th.
Ooh. I want to say before we wrap this up, your dad always comes up to me and you and your dad listen to our show, and we here at the Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast truly love you guys for listening to the show. I truly love your mat work, and that's why when you wanted to come on the show, making this historic first segment ever, off the charts. I believe you're going to be very successful in this business due to your good mentality. You're humble, and you're actually very, very respectful, and you take the spoon and eat the cereal of wrestling knowledge. And I love that, and that's what I love about you, Spence. You only a little over a year, but you're doing so much, and I seen the little kids flock to you like a messiah. And I just want to say thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
And
sky's the limit, man.
Best of luck to you in your career.
Sky's the limit.
So a couple more things before we let you go. How can people find you? Social media or YouTube or whatever?
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook at Spencer Chisholm. You can find me on Twitter at Slade Wrestler, and you can find me on Instagram at Slade Wrestling. And I try to post something at least once or twice a week. I'm big on motivational quotes or stuff like that. I don't believe in posting stuff to try to promote, try to brag about yourself. I'm a big believer in posting something with a quote that could help somebody's day, because you don't know. There's somebody on Instagram that could be going through a bad day, and they read some quote, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? That's all I need to think to get my day better." That's kind of how I look at it.
Spencer, you're a breath of fresh air, brother.
September 19th, the rematch for the Imagine Heavyweight title, and if people don't get tickets, I'll tell you what, people, if you're not a true wrestling fan to see this main event, I guarantee you can hang out with me, because I guarantee it, I will be there.
Now, before we let you go, my friend, you're it. You have that it factor. I believe there's bigger and better things for you. So I want you to, can you cut me one little promo for us? Can you say, this is Spencer Slade, and you're listening to the Triple B and Double D Heavyweight Podcast?
Triple B and Double D Heavyweight Podcast. All right, here we go. You were Triple B and Double D, correct?
Yes.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is the soon-to-be new Imagine Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Spencer Slade, and you're listening to the Triple B and Double D Heavyweight Podcast. And if you're not right now, you better, because if you don't, I will lock you in the ankle lock, and you will fear the gear.
That was great.
That was
Good
awesome,
stuff,
brother.
man. Thank you.
Spencer Slade, everybody, thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Spencer.
taking time out of your
Hey.
day to join us.
And when you're main event in WrestleMania, don't forget about us little people. We'll put you on a podcast, okay?
That's one thing about me is I never ever forget the people that have supported me. So that's my whole goal is when I make it big is to be able to fly people down to shows or support them any way that I can because I'm big on loyalty.
Awesome, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
Keep doing
you.
what you're doing.
Good luck.
Guys,
Good luck the 19th.
All right,
do.
brother. Spencer.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Spence.
Thank you.
Spencer Slade, everybody.
Wow.
How awesome was
That
that?
was awesome.
That was a great. That was better than I ever expected that to
Well,
go.
the Triple B trifecta here. Yeah, like
Triple
that.
threat.
The questions were great. He is great. He is that.
He's
real.
classy guy.
He
Classy
has
guy.
so much respect for the business. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He doesn't have any friends.
His
It's all
focus
professional
is in
wrestling.
the right place right now.
Yes.
Yeah. That guy could have any girl he wanted.
Yes, he could. And
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have to talk to him. Just fear the gear. That
Awesome.
was awesome.
Thank you, Spencer.
That was a great interview. Our
Yeah,
interview skills to get people have just exploded.
That was awesome, and I got him to cut a promo, so when he does sign, I'll play the shit out of that promo.
I know you will.
We'll be in the middle of talking, I'll just bump it in with the Spencer
Oh,
Slade
yeah.
promo. Now, we're here. We're going to wrap the show up with the Summerslam predictions. We want you... I'm still, like, people are so leery to call in. I just checked on Facebook. There's a lot of people listening.
They're afraid. They're afraid.
There's no... This is
They're afraid
friendly.
to call in, and independent wrestling companies are afraid to have us.
We're wrestling fans just like you.
Yeah.
We're regular guys. We enjoy the
Well, I try to be
wrestling.
regular.
We can try to... Bubba, I mean, he's a wrestling legend.
Oh,
The rest
God,
of us are
God bless you.
wrestling fans.
But you're also a legend in the radio broadcasting industry.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you did because you gave me an opportunity that other people never did, and I truly appreciate
But
that.
we're just regular guys, just like you. We're talking about the pay-per-view. We're going to probably bitch half of it. 412-407-SHOW. Get you on.
Hey, and
Please.
shout outs to our buddy Don Fulmer. Man,
Mr. Tap Out.
Good to hear from you, man. He just said Bill and Spencer is a clinic, and he feels that Spencer kind of has a Lance Storm vibe to his personality.
Oh, I never thought Lance Storm. Okay.
And then
He probably
Travis
talks
Williams
more than
said,
Lance Storm.
he
Yeah.
does, sure does.
But he can
And
cut a
Travis
pretty
Williams texted in again and said, I love the Steiner look. So I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
You don't ever want to get hit by Rick Steiner though with an elbow though, because he'll break your nose.
Somebody already has experience in that.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Get to this huge,
Get to this.
huge 2020
We're not gonna-
SummerSlam picks.
We're not going to spend a lot of
No.
time on this.
Nope.
All
Let's
right,
let's
so-
let's keep a positive vibe. Let's not
Yeah.
completely bitch about it.
First,
Just a little
first
bit.
match on the card: Apollo Crews versus MVP for the United States
How does-
Heavyweight
How does
Championship.
MVP get a
I
contract
know.
extension, and how is he in for any type of titles?
Well, he-
it is ungodly. Oh, Shelton Benjamin's not good enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I-
Though he MVP was supposed to be an agent.
Yeah,
And then next thing you
then
know,
he's working back behind the. Well, at one point he was behind this.
he should
He
stay
should
there.
be behind the scenes.
He should
The
stay
hurt
there.
business. Give me a break. Like, I'm going to go with Apollo Crews, but it'll probably be a screw job. But I'm going to go with Apollo.
I'm going to say MVP takes the title.
Oh my God, I hope not.
What do you guys think of that new title that Wildcat Belts made?
Nice.
I like it.
I like it.
the new look to it.
I like it.
I
They do
love
great
that
work.
every time he makes a championship for them, that they all have a different and unique look. My favorite new one is it's a tie between the NXT European title, and the I like the 24/7. It has a boxing.
I like.
feel
Well,
to
I
it.
like the 24/7 because the truth is amazing.
Yeah. But as far as the title, the way it looks.
See, I'm not a title mark.
Oh, see, I love them.
I-
See, if we win Best Podcast,
Well, I love that title.
which you got to vote, PittsburghCityPaper.com. Go to vote Best of PGH. Go to People and Places, best local podcast, Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast.
And the best wrestling
just hit
podcast in Pittsburgh and beyond, people. We do stuff that other podcasts can only dream of because the three of us, we know what we're talking about and we're not afraid to say it. Truly, we're not.
And we got the top guys in the biz
That's exactly
coming
correct.
on, talking wrestling with us.
So anybody that wants to, any independent wrestler wants to get on the segment that you just seen,
Hit Bubba up.
contact me and we'll get you on.
Mav, what's your pick?
I'm going to go with Cruz, just because I'm going to go with my heart on this one because I think. I
can't see you picking MVP.
Well, MVP. Think of it as what is MVP going to gain from this?
Aren't
they
they doing like a Nation of Domination kind of gimmick?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Bobby
Well,
Lashley doesn't have no say.
Don't
He's
you
terrible.
think Cruz is? Don't you think they're going to try to get Cruz to be part of it at some point?
They did.
And
It didn't work.
but
yeah.
after this, maybe. I don't know.
It's a dumb story.
I think it's really MVP has nothing to gain by going over. So I'm going
think
with it.
he
I
is.
feel they should do, and they should leave Cruz the champion. So
They should, but
that's how I'm.
I don't know. I
well,
just
as
have
I'm
a
looking,
feeling
that's probably, yeah.
MVP. I don't know why. I don't know.
He
The
shouldn't
Nation
either.
of Domination, like why recycle? Like we were talking earlier, why recycle old stuff?
Because old stuff in wrestling is
the only
always
thing that works.
recycled. Always recycled.
Yeah.
The loser leave town match, the Midnight Rider, stuff like that's always recycled.
Yeah. But match styles is one thing, but an old gimmick like this, it was a mid-card gimmick original. I mean, The Rock, when he was part of it, maybe kind of teetered them into the main event, but
That's because he could talk.
I don't know. I wasn't in love with it the first time. The next match on the card, the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Mav, you go first this time.
Oh man, gosh, I'm gonna go with the Street Profits. I guess. Yeah.
The Red Solo Cup guys.
Yeah. Why not?
I know who I'm picking.
Go ahead.
I'm taking new tag team champions, Angel Garza and Andrade. They're going to take the title because, you know what I mean? Because Cruz is going to, if that's the way the show's going, Cruz is going to keep it, and then the title change in the second match. They're going to change this tag team.
So I'm usually on the same lines as Bub. But today I'm going Profits.
Well, you like the Profits, though.
I love the But before the show, Bub and I were talking. I think Ford's going to be a phenomenal singles wrestler, and
His wife is the best wrestler.
I
out of all
think
three.
I think he's getting held down right now. What he could do by himself, I think he works. He's awesome on the microphone. I don't know.
See, I don't see that.
What,
You don't see his.
You don't see his wife being the best.
No,
wrestler?
I didn't say that.
Oh,
I think Belair is phenomenal.
she's phenomenal.
One of the best women's workers they
But
have.
they lose that momentum that they had with her, and they lost it like they did Rhea Ripley. Everything they do, they always lose momentum,
Yeah.
and it's terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
So-
go with the new tag team champions because they have to spruce it up a little bit. Because
Mav, you said Profits as well, right?
Yep.
it's weak.
Going with the Profits.
The tag team division's weak.
Real quick, Donnie just said tag team division annoys him right now. I agree.
Oh yes, yeah, it's so
Yeah,
weak.
what
It's
they
bad.
did to the Viking Raiders is
terrible.
Garbage.
it's just
Who's that girl that is always hitting on the one? Who is that? Some bachelorette or something?
it's such a disgrace.
It's
what they
ridiculous.
Can I just
what
ask
they
something
did to
real
that
quick?
tag team.
Just real quick. How do you guys? We probably should have put this in headlines. But why what do you guys feel about the WWE Underground or Raw Underground or whatever?
Well, here's my.
I can't stand it.
Okay, here.
It's
Go ahead, Todd.
It's cheesy.
I believe, and this is as
They should be
crazy.
sponsored by Cheetos.
This is as crazy as it sounds because I do believe, and as crazy as it sounds, that WWE interns, and this is crazy, look at stuff on social media, and when I do the Fight Underground and we are doing stuff, we're actually getting over 100,000 hits, like all these 8 matches combined and stuff, and they're probably like, oh, wow, that's pretty, you know what I mean? Like, I honestly think that. Because they do that. They do stuff. They pull gimmicks out of independent stuff they see on the internet, and they use that, like the Spirit Squad. and stuff like that.
So you're saying that they're
they
kind
have,
of
I believe they
stealing
have
the title of it.
Well, I believe they seen it and they're like, oh, we'll just throw Raw in front of it. But it's the stupidest. It's stupidest fucking thing. It's stupid.
I think it's cheesy.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I think the idea is cool. I think it had potential, but then
they used Dolph Ziggler with his collegiate wrestling ability before, and he was putting headlocks and stuff. And then Moss guy, they were going to push. Now and then this big dude guy. I don't even know I don't know some of these guys.
And
who
everybody wears. It's not the politically correct word for it, but everybody has a wife beater on.
Yeah, and then they had the girls. That girls dancing on the corner to the right by the poles there, and it's like Shotgun Saturday Night.
Yeah, it's like. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. You know
Yeah.
what time it is.
Hey, shame
It's time for the underground.
it looks good.
If I didn't turn it off already, I am now.
But I just think that they have interns up in the headquarters looking at stuff that they need to try to get gimmicks with guys, and they need stuff with NXT because they have to give gimmicks with these guys, and they look at stuff that's on social media. And realistically, to Fight Underground in Pittsburgh, they've been doing this stuff for 3 months. They've been averaging so many thousands of hits.
But Fight Underground's a legit wrestling organization.
Right.
Yeah.
This is just.
I mean,
It's
they just
co-
threw
it's
they just
cheesy.
threw Raw.
They should, like I said, they should be sponsored. Raw Underground should be sponsored by Cheetos because it's cheesy.
Cheetos are good though.
But it's cheesy.
Don also said, being an MMA guy, he wasn't sold on it.
Yeah, I mean the potential, like a lot of things they've done lately,
Well,
is there.
It's like the fall
It's
for.
just-
Remember the fall.
Well, what would make it
all?
better? I don't even know.
Nothing will.
Make it more real. I think. I mean, you could. It's just corny.
It's a waste of time.
We're wasting our breath on it.
Yep.
Okay.
Moving
Next
on.
match.
Speaking of wasting our breath.
Yeah. Dominic Mysterio, which I heard that he's going to go by Prince Mysterio
Oh my God.
and
please.
go under the hood like his father.
Well, I think
terrible.
Ray at one time was a prince
I don't.
at one
know.
point or another.
Why can't he just be Dom Mysterio? Like, why does he have to be Prince? I'm okay with him being under the hood.
I don't think he's. This match here is. I'm not into it.
He goes under the hood. He's always going to be compared to his dad. Always.
They
he's always going to have that obstacle to begin
They
with.
came the shit out of him though, man. That was.
They did. He paid his dues.
He paid one time.
Once,
I tell you
yeah.
what, I would get Kane the shit if I was going to get on
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, no,
Kane the
I
shit
get it.
out of me, take a steamroller, hit me with a truck, whatever it took to get me to SummerSlam. And this match is a street fight because he's not going to be able to work. So
No, he's not there yet. I don't even.
his old man will come out and save him.
Physically, he's not there. I mean,
No.
he don't have the
No.
build
Okay,
for
so-
it yet.
So he should.
Pat McAfee's better than this guy.
His ass should have been down in NXT.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, my dad's Rey Mysterio, so that's what we're going to
yeah,
do.
I know.
My dad's not Rey Mysterio.
They've been using him in storylines since he was a little kid.
Yeah.
Maybe this
You
is
know,
a match
with him
from
and Eddie. And,
this is a match from 20 years ago. That's probably why he got caned.
I don't know. I'm just not.
It's not impressive, and this is.
All right, so who do you got, Bob?
Here's what's going to happen. Mysterio's going to win. He's not going to lose his first fight because his old man's going to come out and save him. So I'm going to go with Dominic. It's against my better judgment, but I think Ray's going to come out and save him because I think Ray might have signed a contract, an extension. I'm not sure.
I heard he was working without one.
Okay, well, he's not going to let his kid get his ass beat again like that. So, and Murphy's going to have a part in it. So I'm going to go with the Prince
What do you got?
when
Mav?
doves cry.
I have a theory. So
I'm going to go with
Okay.
Rollins.
You're gonna go with Rollins.
Yeah.
Let's hear your theory.
I'm going to go with Rollins, and I think Prince Dominic is going to join up
And turn
with
into the
Seth, turn on his dad, and he's going to be the one who retires.
And
Ray.
Seth, the Messiah, will grant him the name Prince.
He's going
Oh,
to
you're probably right.
retire Ray
Because
I
he's
think.
going to turn on him because Dad didn't save him when he got his ass beat when he got caned.
And then
I don't know.
It's
The story.
it's more. It'll make it more interesting.
Yeah.
And then him and Ray. He's the one who retires Ray, and it's like a passing of the torch.
Still, the kid's not qualified.
He's not ready.
He's not ready.
He's not ready.
No.
I think they're forcing it because of Ray.
Another message here from Don. He said he thinks Dom will surprise you, and Dom
Okay.
will go over by save.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Nothing wrong with that, Mr. Tappa. We love your
This is
wrestling
input
knowledge.
This is interesting. A hair versus hair match.
well, okay. Did that change? Okay, so that's changed. It's not a hair versus hair match. anymore,
It's a
right?
match. Don't come to my house match.
It's loser leaves WWE.
Oh, really?
No, yeah,
so the loser will go to Raw Underground.
Yeah, right, right.
Sonia Deville versus Mandy Rose.
Which let's just touch on this real quick. Sonya Deville got kidnapped or
No.
attempted to kidnap.
No, a guy broke into her house. He had mace. He was getting ready to do something to her, and I believe her security system went off, and she called the cops, and he got arrested. He has mental illness. He has an attraction as a fan obsession with her. She could have tapped him out because
she would have beat his ass.
Yeah, but you don't know what he had.
Right,
you don't know what he
exactly.
had. And
But
her promos right now are killer. Her promos right now
Well, she
are
had one
killer.
on SmackDown, and it just
Mandy
got
Rose's hair is
I got
terrible.
Insider knowledge here. So, we were just informed, thank you, Cable, that it's now loser leaves town, as you just mentioned a couple minutes ago.
Well,
that everything recycles.
Does that change anything?
Mandy Rose. I think they're pushing Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, and Otis. I don't even know what happened with that because he's got a briefcase. He's not even capable.
Seen him.
No,
right?
I don't know what he's doing. I seen it. Maybe his girlfriend's pissed that he's making out with Mandy Rose because his girlfriend. Who knows? He's dating somebody for real. But Mandy.
Maybe he's the lead ninja.
That would be awesome. That would be. There you go.
That's how he wins the title.
Because he can actually move.
Yeah.
And he's, oh my God, he's dressed in.
He's
dressed in black.
They were pushing him to be like a Chris Farley.
Yeah.
They were pushing him to be a Chris Farley.
He does a cartwheel down, super kicks, or does the worm in a kung fu type attire.
He's taking your job.
Well, he's a little bit more athletic.
That's it. He's the leader of the ninjas.
I'm going with Sonya Deville, even though Mandy Rose, but her haircut just didn't do it for me.
Where's she going if she loses? Deville would fit in more.
She would go to Raw.
Deville would fit in Raw Underground.
Well, is it leave WWE or is it leave SmackDown? WWE.
Maybe Sonya's taking some time off due to the guy coming to her house gave her emotional distress because she looked emotionally distraught. So maybe she's like, hey, I need some time off.
Yeah, but you said she's doing killer promos right now.
I know, but
she's in a push right now.
But maybe she can't handle the push due to almost getting assaulted and actually getting kidnapped or almost killed. I mean, that has a little bit of trigger. What
if it's all a work and that guy comes in and affects the outcome of the match?
Maybe he's the ninja.
We shouldn't laugh at that.
No,
but
that's Hey, you ever see a picture of him?
I wouldn't put it past Vince, though.
No.
Double D, who you got?
I'm going to go Deville just because everything alludes to her winning.
I'm going to say Mandy Rose.
I'm going to go
I'm going to go against
I'm going to go Sonya Deville also.
Okay.
But I think her promos are better, and I think they're going to start pushing her because the ladies wrestling right now is just not the way it was like about a year and a half ago, and that's a shame. Totally a shame.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big ladies wrestling, but I was getting on board. I was
getting for a couple years.
Yeah, I was.
They were there.
They were.
When Rousey was there and Lynch and even Charlotte. I don't even think she's wrestling the rest of the year.
No, she's got surgery or
she got new cheeks or
cheeks. Yes,
everything's fake on her now.
Cheeks.
So.
She's like a Barbie doll.
But I still like Flair. I still like Charlotte.
I do too. Yeah. I think she's the best in the world.
I think the break will do her good because right now it's
overuse.
She's heads and tails. She would just dominate the roster.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's no inevitable foe.
This is the worst lineup in SummerSlam history.
Here we go for the Raw Women's Championship.
Here's where it gets good.
Sasha versus Asuka. How many times do we need to see this? And then,
okay, so
wait a minute. It's Sasha versus Asuka, and then it's Bayley versus Asuka.
Yes.
Who booked this shit?
Well,
not us.
And why?
Okay, so explain to the listeners how this match is going to work.
I don't know how it's going to work.
Is it two separate matches?
I don't know. Because I'll be honest with you, I fast forward it because it's not exciting for me.
It's billed as two separate matches.
So she goes through one match and she's going to win.
She's winning one.
She's winning one, and then she's going in against Bayley, and she's probably going to lose to Bayley.
But Bayley's going to be Bayley 2 belts.
The problem is, the problem is, it also matters which one's going to come first. So if we don't know the order, Is it going to be? Is she going to wrestle Banks first, or is she going to wrestle Bailey?
I believe
first?
she'll wrestle Banks first because well,
Why didn't they just make this a triple threat? And
Well-
like they did at Mania, where the winner gets both belts.
and save us a match.
You know, I said this before. I commend them for trying something different with Bailey. You know, so she's not like John Cena.
Just let her hair grow.
But the thing of it is, she's the worst heel that I can in recent memory. It's not even believable.
It's too forced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Asuka. I like Asuka against either of them. I always liked Asuka.
I say Asuka beats Sasha, but not Bailey.
I'm going to say the same thing because they're going to keep the title on Bailey because they like Bailey because she's on every show.
I was actually going to say the same damn thing, but I felt
Well, you're allowed to.
Well, we can agree.
Living in America. You're allowed
okay, so Asuka over Banks and Bailey over Asuka for all
Yep,
three.
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We got 2 more, and then we can wrap this.
Yeah,
thing up.
because if this actually goes down, I've never seen 4 title matches in a row if it goes down this way. Not saying it will, but quick. It's done by 9:45.
They have been ending early.
Yeah, because they suck and they want to get out of there, and it's already half of it's taped. Most of it's taped.
Strowman versus Wyatt for the Universal Championship.
Boy, that swamp match, wasn't that phenomenal?
There is no like gimmicky movie match.
No, I was looking for the swamp thing to
Amen.
come out.
Give me a break from the theatrical bullshit that they're feeding me. Thank you.
That was terrible. I was looking for.
Sorry, I talked my hands.
I was looking for the swamp thing to come out, and the man thing to come out to take on each
With
one of them.
ninjas
That
That might have
on
been
his
interesting.
back.
If the
It
Swamp
was
Thing came
terrible.
out, I might have been
It
into
was
it.
terrible. That match was terrible. I fell asleep and I woke up and I'm like, what the hell happened? And I had to replay it again because it was so boring. When I'm falling asleep, people, during a WWE pay-per-view, that's the sign. It's not because I'm tired. It's because it's boring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
I used to fight my mom to stay up to watch.
Yeah.
Right?
Huh.
Now I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, because it's terrible.
All right, let's go with the who do you got? I'm gonna take Wyatt. I think. Now, are they billing it as Wyatt or is the Fiend? Because the Fiend is on the poster.
I think it's the Fiend.
But is the Fiend, real quick, is the Fiend, is Bray Wyatt the face and Strowman double reversed as the heel?
I don't know.
He was screaming at Alexa Bliss, and it seemed to me like he was going crazy because he must have got too much swamp water in his lungs.
She
And
was bitch slapping him.
yeah, it was like a gnat.
She was like, wop, 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 wop.
Well, so are they doing like a Beauty and the Beast thing with the Fiend and
I think yeah, probably.
If they put that Fiend mask on Bray Wyatt, I'm punching the TV.
Well, don't do that. Don't do that.
just feed us more ninjas, guys. That's all we need. It's all just the whole show ninjas.
Braun-
Hey, shout outs to Dan Bruno real quick.
Dan Bruno.
Yeah, he just shot us a line. So thanks for tuning in, man.
Hey, we appreciate everybody.
Vote for us.
Please try to call in, people, because I think, honestly, you're scared. You guys are scared to call in with these questions. You guys can call in. You're allowed to.
And Don Fulmer again said it's a blurred line of who's facing
That is
who's
correct. Correct, Donnie.
Yeah, so we're confused as anybody.
What do you guys got for Strowman and Wyatt?
I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt because I don't like Strowman's heavyweight title run. It was too late, and
It was about 2 years.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt.
So Wyatt across the board then.
Yeah, because Bray Wyatt's one of the guys actually that if you're going to watch WWE, Bray Wyatt's one of the people that I like one of them. There's not many of them anymore due to the writing, due to underbooking.
And I think the last match that we're going to talk about is the only match that is pay-per-view worthy. Drew
Yes.
McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while since I've ran through a card and said, "Oh, the main."
We
event's
ran
the
through
best
this card quicker than I could run through the Walmart checkout line.
match." Oh yeah,
I mean,
because there ain't no registers open, brother. There's 18 million people in there, but one line open.
I know.
Anyway,
Amazon.
it's been a while since the main event's been the one that's excited me the
The
most.
only draw.
Right. Because usually there's an undercard match that I'm saying that's going to be the best match.
Well, I didn't like
Well,
how
this main event I think will.
Well,
No AJ Styles. No, what's her?
no tag team. Cesaro and
Yeah,
Shinsuke
Shinsuke.
The girl that we're real high on, the blonde.
oh shit.
Why am I?
Because now
They haven't used her. Mav. The blonde.
Carmella? Come on. I'm at loss of words.
She was the mom.
Oh, Lacey Evans.
Oh, Lacey. Yeah.
See?
Lacey.
What the hell?
We're losing it because
we don't see her.
We don't see her.
She doesn't get booked enough. She's at home farming and stuff. I follow her on Instagram. She's amazing.
I mean, this is terrible. I mean,
thank God it's only $9.99.
They don't. This is how bad the booking are. We can't even remember the goddamn names.
No, it's terrible.
and she has the most potential.
They don't use it.
They were gearing to make her the Hulk Hogan of women's wrestling.
They
But she can work.
The All-American Mama, she was.
That was good. That was a good
Yeah.
guess.
She was in
Yeah.
the military.
All the mothers would get behind her and take the kids to the shows.
And then they shit the bed.
Well, I think Randy Orton's little display last week with Ric Flair, you know what
It's
I
a
mean?
work.
Yeah,
I think it's a work. I think Flair's going to help Orton. Dirtiest player in the game.
Well, he just gave him the nut bag. He didn't give him he gave him the tea bagger. He didn't give him the old boot to, you know what I mean? And Flair's just, I mean, it's just his legacy. Just
Yeah.
There has
It's
to
like
be
Goldberg. It's like
there has to be a
Flair is
time.
now a parody of what Flair used to be.
Right, every time you see him, he's crying.
He's so
And it's just
emotional.
like-
But I think this is a work. I think Flair is going to come out.
You're probably right.
He's got dirtiest player in the game.
And
Evolution.
got into Drew's head because Drew was coming to his aid. And I believe, as much as I love Drew McIntyre, I believe they're going to put the strap on Randy because they are waiting for fans to see Drew, and then Drew can carry the ball when there is real live people in the audience.
Hopefully by WrestleMania.
I've heard that.
But the feud
And he'll take it in
between
WrestleMania.
Orton and McIntyre will be epic. Flair being the X factor that puts Randy over. I think that's where they're going.
But yes, but I'm a huge Drew McIntyre fan.
So am I.
And it's going to be the whole way, and then he's going to do it in WrestleMania because he carried the ball, and he's going to get his opportunity to defend the title traveling with real-life people seeing him.
And that'll really light a fire behind it.
But also, too, the quest for the title is better sometimes than being the champion.
Yep.
The quest
It's about the journey.
and overcoming the adversity.
Yeah.
And that's what we were saying that Becky needed because she fizzled out a little bit. She needed adversity to come back
Would that give
from.
him, what, 15?
Now it's Seth's penis.
That gives him 15, too. But if Orton takes it, he'll be 15. Is he 14 now?
Yeah.
So he'll be very close to...
Yeah.
You know, and if anybody's going to beat, I'd rather see Orton take it than Cena.
Well, Cena said he's never going to do it. He doesn't want to
Orton will do
break
it.
the record.
Orton will do it.
Yeah,
Don't
Orton
give it
has
to
no
Orton.
shame.
Legend killer, yeah.
Yeah, but he's got another 5 more years. He's still in great shape. He's got 5
No,
more
he does.
years.
He still looks good.
Yeah.
He's. I'm going to go with Orton as well. So Orton across the board for 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Do you think Flair's going to have
Yeah.
something?
Absolutely.
Do you think Michaels comes into play somewhere?
Nah.
No.
Michaels will be in play for probably the NXT takeover because he was talking. Pat McAfee was talking schmack on Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
So I think that wraps up our SummerSlam.
That is the quickest
prediction
prediction show ever because we did so much other stuff.
Well, the prediction
because,
segment of
Well, the prediction segment of the show because, hey, thank you, WWE, for putting shit matches together for us. And
and they forced us to get creative. We came up with a new
segment.
triple. And you know what? It was cool. We were doing your promotion of the show. But you know what? We're not gonna.
Let's spotlight guys.
I'd rather do this. Triple B's, triple threats. It puts us in a better spot. We're not kissing any. We're not
here to kiss.
up
We're not here to kiss anybody's ass.
promotions. Like we were always nice to all the promote. Like we don't need to do that.
We don't need to do anything.
So I'd rather focus on the guys,
Right.
the stars.
The stars are what
The
makes the
up-and-comers.
promotion
These are-
anyway.
yeah.
So if there's any chance that we can get to help out another up and comer, we
Hit
should do
Bob
it.
up.
Hit me up. We'll be more than happy to do this. Like I said, we appreciate all the support. Vote for us for the best podcast in Pittsburgh. Like I said, I want to thank everybody that supports us. Steelers Realm podcast. Like I said, they've been pumping our stuff up, and everybody on the street that comes up to me, actually at the show last week, is, "Hey, Bubba, I like your podcast show." I'm like, "Hey, that's awesome." I said, so people keep listening, hit like, share, support. Support Idiot Radio. Hey, Todd does a great job. He busts his ass, ladies and gentlemen, to get this stuff going.
And there's more to come. There's more to come.
Yes.
This network, we got 2 shows in the top 10. Next year, the goal is to have 6.
Yeah. And my Triple B experience needs to – I'm going to jack that up a little bit too, but I've been doing so much in my own landscaping life, the Raul Brewer Landscaping Company.
The Todd DeFazio show will be making a comeback in about a month.
And see?
So
good things coming.
Yeah. And once this COVID stuff is, we can travel, we can do stuff.
By the end of 2020 into the early 2021,
it's going to be the year of the Planet of the
There will
Apes.
be at least 10 shows. 10 shows out of the studio.
Yes.
That's incredible.
If we don't get conquered by the Planet of the Apes,
that's
in
why,
December.
Double D, you are the Tom Brady
That's right.
of podcasts.
I don't know who said that, but they are.
Yeah, I don't know who said that
He's
either.
a genius, though.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, everybody.
Please,
Thank you, people.
please
Thank you,
vote.
Spencer, and vote for
Thank you,
us.
Spencer.
Best podcast in the burg, baby.